destined to become indulged into the greatest podcast in existence? You have now been given access to excellence with the greatest opinion on all things culture. Like, follow, and subscribe to the Unprofessional Critics podcast. God listens to our podcast, so should you. You're welcome.
Oh my God.
What up, y'all? Welcome to the Unprofessional Critics podcast. It is JMC and
Professor X, ladies and gentlemen.
Professor X. I love
Yes.
it. Man, y'all.
Yes.
This is a brand new podcast, Unprofessional Critics podcast. It will be available absolutely everywhere. Spotify, Pandora, YouTube, Apple Podcasts.
Anywhere your fingers touch.
Just search the Unprofessional Critics and get tuned in. Just to break down our brand new podcast and what we got cooking up for you, man. This is all about Black excellence, the culture, the people, the entertainment business from the Black perspective. We got two young, beautiful Black gentlemen. We're gonna give you the culture from our perspective. How you feeling today, bro?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling real good.
Absolutely, man. We got Master Chief holding it down right here with us. He's gonna give some intake as well. Today's episode is about, one more time, the first episode. I'm excited.
Yes. No, it's the first episode. I'm excited too. It's gonna be nice. What we got? What is our topic today? What's our topic today?
For the first episode, we got to bring an important conversation. We were talking about a living legend, an icon in the sport of music.
Can't hold me down.
In hip hop, one of the greatest, if not arguably the greatest to ever do it.
I am the greatest.
But this conversation isn't necessarily about greatness, and more so about potentially the downfall. What has happened?
God, I'll be back in a second. Man, it's so hard not to act reckless.
Yes, we are talking about Kanye West. Now, before we get into this
Is that his
conversation,
middle name?
I don't know. I think it fits.
I feel like you made that up.
I did.
Okay.
It fits, in my opinion.
It's just yellow. Look, I don't feel like it's it, but okay. No.
It is. It's Kanye West. No, just thinking about it, what he meant to me personally, as a kid, as a teenager. I wanted to go in the club and say, Jesus Walks. I cried during the hook of All Falls Down. Right?
You cried?
I cried. It was monumental.
I don't feel like you should tell people that.
It was that good. It was great.
That's weird. I liked it, but that's different.
Just thinking about the production level, what he's brought to hip hop, the greatness. I wanted to wear
Most definitely
the collar up on my pink polo and look just as ridiculous as he did. I wanted to rap through the wire.
Oh, because I actually did that.
Right? As goofy as possible, right? It was inspiring.
I pulled it off.
It was inspiring.
No, I pulled it off.
This speaks of Kanye, right? And what he did. I wanted to rap through the wire with my mouth closed. So I sounded like him, because he had his jaw wired shut, right? I remember the first time I saw that music video. So just to highlight, some of the greatness that has come from this man. But to begin this conversation, the question I want to ask you is Kanye West a throat goat?
Ooh. Time out. Okay, so pause. Time out, because that's just a wild lie, bro. I don't know if I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that at all.
Gotta talk about the ups and the downs.
Damn. Oh my God. I separate the artists from their extracurricular activities, bro. That's my rule of thumb on that. I feel like at the end of the day, man, this is, you see what happened behind closed doors is every couple years. You know what I mean? Diddy want the first. Every couple years is some random baby oil type story come out about, how they get down. You know what I mean? What you do in your spare time? Yeah. I want the music.
Kanye is a legend, respectfully and rightfully so. But, I was on Instagram and I just heard, I gave my cousin head like 7 times in a row, right? So I'm like, what is he doing to himself? I remember him talking about Kim and not wanting his kids to be exposed on the internet. As a parent, that's a genuine concern. You don't want your kids exposed. What did he expose his children to, his family to? What was the point of that statement? What was he looking to gain from making that public, right? If I know Kanye, my claim to fame was, man, I knew Kanye from back in the day in Chicago. You might not see me for a week after he makes that statement, right? Because I no longer want you to associate me with that. And so, as much as I love Kanye, and I made it a point to talk about his career and his successes, his influence, and it's not to be taken lightly, but the antics, so that we don't get canceled. I can't even go into detail on what they are.
Nah,
right?
we're not gonna do that. Y'all can Google that. There's plenty of that out there.
It's so far left. What has happened? Why has Kanye fallen? Is it mental health? Is that a bigger topic that we need to speak on within the Black community?
I mean, there's space for that. I think it's multi-layered. I think that yeah, there is a space where we can speak about mental health, most definitely, and I think that's definitely a clear-cut case. But I think at this point, in the way that Kanye interacts with the culture, I think it's important to like I said, I separate it because I mean I don't want to critique what he's clearly going through, but like he's clearly going through something. Like I feel like it's kind of irresponsible of the people who keep putting a microphone in his face at this point. And then I also noticed that most of the people who are putting microphones in his face isn't really the culture. Like the culture as a whole is kind of like, pause as far as like, giving him certain interviews and certain spaces about certain things. And I think all of it is in a spirit of, we want you to get better. We want you to take a little time for yourself. We want, I think a chant from the culture, more often than not is, man, I miss the old Kanye. Like that's a cultural chant at this point. Like when are we going to get the Chronic from Dr. Dre? That's a cultural chant at this point. I miss the old Kanye. And I think that happens because culturally we miss the impact that he started off with. Like Kanye is Kanye because of how impactful not only his production was, because I think Kanye is top 5 production all time. Fight with your mama. He might even be top 3 just because of how influential he was per the sound of hip hop.
Just to give Kanye some love, real quick, I'm gonna rapid fire my top 3 Kanye albums.
Go.
All right, number 1 without question, College Dropout.
Are you asking me?
No, I'm saying I'm
Go.
giving mine.
College Dropout.
College Dropout. Well, that should be everybody's number 1.
No.
It's not?
No.
Okay, hold on. College Dropout, number 1. Number 2, Life of Pablo.
No.
Yes. And number 3, the Gospel album.
No.
Those are my top 3.
No. And don't get me wrong, the Gospel album was great. No.
What are your top 3?
Okay, so I don't know. I guess this is probably cliche at this point too. But anybody who's like, no, My Twisted Dark Fantasy.
I didn't like it.
You crazy? No.
It's overhyped.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like it.
No. Okay, so
for
pause.
Me,
Stop.
Musically, that is when I didn't pay as much attention to Kanye. I genuinely disliked that album.
How?
It didn't speak to me, right? I love the complexity of music and the different layers that Kanye looks through.
There are a few albums in hip hop that have a color when you listen to it. My Twisted Dark Fantasy is one of them.
I disagree. It was over multi-layered, and sometimes you just need a simpler sound,
You're
right?
spoiled.
But we're talking about Kanye.
No, there are simple sounds all over hip hop. He
There are.
gave you
And then there are
texture,
overly-
layer, filet mignon.
it's overly abstract because it's not needed.
It's not needed.
There's so
That's
many
what makes it
layers.
so beautiful, so unique. It stands out.
College Dropout is arguably the best album ever, and it didn't have all those layers production-wise. It was just
Arguably
raw
best album ever.
talent. It was raw talent. It was a raw perspective during an era dominated by gangster rap, right? And we got this essentially a nerd in a pink polo giving you real life perspective. And that's what made it so good. He didn't have to be gang banging at breakfast, right? He was just who he was with his Jesus piece on. Great production, great perspective on the everyday individual. Love College Dropout because I feel like I relate to the everyday individual.
So did the money make him evil, or was it the Kardashian curse?
Well, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, I believe, was prior Kardashian. Somebody fact check me on that in the comments. Let me know. But no, the Kardashians don't help any situation at all. But
By the way, has anybody seen Chris Humphries?
right, he was.
I'm just wondering.
He might not exist for real.
Has anybody seen? Check on Chris Humphries. Anybody?
I need your top three. Well, you gave me My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is probably one of the best produced albums of all time.
Another reason why that isn't so good is because Watch the Throne is basically My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy continued, but added Jay-Z, which made it way better. And so Watch the Throne just sounds like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy Part 2, but adding Jay-Z makes a world of a difference. But you could go
I
ahead.
feel you in a sense of Watch the Throne cheapens my Twisted Dark Fantasy a tad. I will take that.
Because
I will take that.
the aspect of adding Jay-Z changed it all.
But
And
it
so-
wasn't. But it was its own entity.
It
But
was.
I still feel what you mean because you could definitely hear notes of the production quality in my Twisted Dark Fantasy, almost as if
he probably made
these are
those
the ones
albums
that
at the same
didn't.
time.
while he was in the same flow.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Of just
Absolutely.
making music. Period.
All right, what's your number two?
Late registration.
Good stuff.
Late registration. The joint with Paul Wall is crazy. I still
Drive
play the joint with T.I. and Paul Wall. I still play the joint with it's a small joint with Common. And I think it's like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. It's not really long.
Common's underrated, but boo. Common.
It's no. no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Water for Chocolate is a classic.
You said Water for Chocolate?
Water for Chocolate.
I don't listen to Common.
Common album is probably one of his best all time.
Get that guy out of here.
What did he do to you?
I don't know. I'm
It's
it's
just
unnecessary.
what unnecessary hate?
Unsolicited
Oh
hate.
my god! But you pick Common. Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
The Quiet Bald Man.
Yeah.
All right.
Unsolicited hate.
Unsolicited hate. I got hate for cats that actually deserve hate.
New Kanye deserves hate.
This is true.
All right. So we got My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Late Registration. What rounds out the top three?
Top three. Oh,
It's something to think about. It's something
it
to think about.
is something to think about. I'm gonna put College Dropout there because
Okay.
College Dropout.
Because we were just going to end the conversation if you didn't. I was
It's-
just going to walk away if you didn't, if you didn't put College
This is
Dropout
over.
in.
Mic drop. No, I go back and forth. I did not like 808s. I know a lot of people love 808s. I did not like 808s. 808s sounded like his medication wrote it.
It didn't
Not
age
like he
well.
wrote it.
It didn't age well, but at the time it was good. I would not go back and listen to it today. But in that moment, especially if I was recently at the end of a relationship, I probably would have been in the corner crying to it on auto-tune. with my karaoke machine that has auto tune on it.
No, it was super depressing. It felt like a collection of really super personal thoughts in a journal that probably didn't need to be public.
Sometimes you got to be your raw self, and sometimes you got to let it all out there. Now, I'm not saying go full ride wave, full black emo, and just sing your heart out as depressingly as possible on
There's
every
nothing
song.
wrong with black emo. Yo, so did you know that black rock bands have been becoming a thing lately?
Well, just to throw that out there, black started everything, right? So it
No,
doesn't surprise
but
me.
like this is like they're playing like
Heavy metal.
no, it's not heavy metal. They sound more like they sound. I gotta look up. I'm gonna have them next time for our next show. I'm gonna look them up. I'm gonna have some of their names, but they sound more like the '90s, early 2000s, like grunge punk sound.
Okay.
Like Avril Lavigne, or I don't know if you listen to Sum 41 or Panic at the Disco.
Evanescence kind of vibe.
A little less Evanescence, a little bit more. I think they called it pop rock.
I like it because black people can do anything, and they can do it at a high level.
It's a beautiful thing.
And so let's do that. Let's step into that. Let's
like
start doing hockey.
They got the colored bangs.
I love that. I love it. We can do
it's wild.
Everything through Christ.
It is
because
I don't know. Because the first time you look, get out of my room, Mom. You might not be here tomorrow.
No, you probably won't.
You might not be here tomorrow. Don't try that.
It's needed though.
Don't try that.
Black excellence
it's not
is
true.
A thing. So we can do punk rock. We can do hockey. We can be vegan. All of that. We can do all things. So.
Why is that? We can be vegan.
Black people
why you saying like that?
I'm just saying this. Who would be vegan and why?
Who would be vegan on purpose? No, I agree with you. I don't know if I trust vegans.
Yeah,
I don't know if I trust vegans.
Comment. Let us know, right? The Kanye conversation. Has he lost it? Is he loony? Is he sick? Do we need to go give Kanye a hug? Right? In the comment section below, let us know your thoughts on the current state of Kanye. He just dropped an album, Donda 2. Are we listening to it?
Have you heard it yet?
I don't know if I'm going to listen.
I'll be honest with you. I haven't sat down and had a full listen to a Kanye album probably since My Twisted Dark Fantasy. Is the albums after that just couldn't capture the same magic.
Life of Pablo was good.
Life of Pablo was good.
The Church album, I was in the front seat.
I was offended.
Of my Impala. I had my hands up. The tears were flowing. I almost started speaking in tongues. And, I was ready to recommit my life.
For me, it's offensive. And I also think that that's part of the stain that Kanye has on the culture at the moment. I thought it was offensive because of how you act on the streets about certain things. Like you want to show up in KKK hoods. You know what I mean? You want to show up in MAGA hats. Slavery was a choice.
Yeah, that's diabolical.
But you out here making it, and it's really hard to hate because truth is, it is good music. It is wildly great production. But how you act on the streets sabotages all of that.
So talking about a gospel album, but it's pun intended. It's a damn good album, right? And it
was. I can't front. I love the ideas he came up with. I just feel like it's sullied. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's sullied, and I feel like because of the way that you act on the street, it feels more like a cash grab.
I mean, but
because you can do it, not that you really believe what you're doing.
Are we not allowed to just have a moment to where we want to, give God His respect? And we can bounce back to our old selves, like God said, "Come as you are," right? And so Kanye.
Only in this case, you bounce back to
left field.
Complete left field. You know what I mean? It'd be different. It'd be different if your bounce back was cocaine. That's fine.
That's worse.
That's normal.
That's not fine.
That's normal.
It's not.
If you just had a little Eddie Kane episode,
whose fallout is a bump? Like what's happening here?
It's Hollywood.
Oh, okay. He's from Chicago. Don't do that. They're not just. Well, he's Hollywood now. You're probably right.
It's Hollywood. You know what I mean? They do crazy like that. He's a billionaire. They do crazy like that.
The way he acts, yeah, it's possibly.
And I'm not here to be your idol. I'm the leader. I'm not here to be worshipped. And as a leader, I'm saying, how I'm supposed to lead y'all if I don't got my kids with me to continue what we're doing? I ain't got no legacy. So why the fuck you think I'll be twins in charge of my legacy? I'm gay. Twins in charge of my legacy, and I'm gay.
How many interviews he's done with a sock on his head? Huh?
So his impact, right?
Impact.
Talk about that. So recently, Young Thug just did an interview with in full costume.
Yeah.
Apparently, right? That's some Kanye type stuff to do.
Yeah.
And so, just talking about his impact and what he's brought to the culture, I personally love Kanye musically.
I do. I love him to death. I do.
But Kanye, the real person, is deeply troubled in a way that hurts for me, because what he was so monumental to the point that I made earlier, the everyday person.
Yeah.
Rap is so much about being a bigger than life persona.
And Kanye made it feel attainable.
He made it feel like it's you and me. I felt like Kanye was rapping to me, you know, versus, these unattainable goals, these braggadocious, unrealistic lifestyles that we know they're not living. We know it's entertainment, but like, man, let's talk about being human for a chance. Mm-hmm. One of the main reasons that Jermaine Lamar Cole is one of my favorite rappers, right? Because, it feels like I'm talking to my uncle, when J. Cole is rapping to me, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't encourage waving the white flag the way that he did, but...
It was a white flag.
Off topic.
It was a very big white flag.
I don't even think Kanye would have did that.
No, Kanye, no. Nah, son. Kanye is not the type. I don't see that happening. I feel like that's the other part of it too. Like it's clearly, and again, not trying to put my mouth on nobody in no derogatory way. That's not what I'm here about. But it is clearly a struggle. It's clearly a struggle. And what I hate is that outside of the culture, they're continuing to give him a microphone as much as possible. And I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to him. And again, I think to a degree he's being used to slander the culture. He's one of the good ones. You know what I mean? And that's all he need to hear. And then he's just up there in another minstrel show moment, in front of Trump and his cronies. You know what I mean? To act a fool and buddy up in ways that I feel make the culture super uncomfortable.
So that's what we got to do, people. Go ahead and comment. Let us know. Does Kanye get a pass for being a young throw goat? Or is he just troubled?
Oh, my God.
Leave your opinions.
Oh, my God.
We'll argue with you in the comments section.
Master Chief, you didn't hear that. Oh, my God. Master Chief, you didn't hear that.
Do we just only pay attention to the old Kanye, not the new Kanye? Let us know what you think. We absolutely value your feedback.
Mr. Old Kanye.
Before we finish this episode, we do want to go ahead and give you today's critical critique. Got a clip for you. Go ahead, check it out.
With highlights and backstage coverage we're seeing for the very first time. Sari.
Well, a very, very heavy debatation tonight. We had a very Darrison. But let's go to Terrace and look for the head of the pit.
That's all. Really appreciate y'all sticking with us for episode 1. Once again, the Unprofessional Critics podcast. Go ahead. Check us out. Argue with us in the comments. We'll argue back. We have a lot to say. So should you. Search everywhere. Any podcast streaming station, YouTube, Spotify, Pandora. Anywhere, everywhere, just check us out. Just
anywhere
search
your
us.
Ears can touch.
Stay tapped in with us, man. This Kanye conversation is important. It is ongoing. We'll continue to let you know what we think about all things culture.
Y'all send Kanye hugs. All on Twitter. Just start hitting him with, I don't know, is there an emoji for hugs on Twitter?
I don't know. maybe like a high five or something.
Start sending him hugs. Start sending him videos of older black women hugging somebody. Do that.
I love it. That's all we got for today, folks. Until next time.